This is Sunrise Extra, streaming live on Wave Now.
Hey, good morning and happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here on Wave Sunrise Extra. We have meteorologist Brian Good joining us this morning. Did everyone have a great weekend? It's good to see you on this Monday,
Good to see you all as well.
Did you get a lot done this weekend?
I got some errands done and some sleep time in as well.
Good for you.
Shannon's like, I can't relate. She's always busy on weekends.
I'm always tired on Monday.
It was really yesterday for some reason. I just felt so tired all day yesterday, and I couldn't figure out why. So I was like, you know what? I grabbed my dog, and I said, it's cuddle time.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Nice little nap, and then watch Freddy Krueger for a while. So,
Perfect Sunday.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, just watch a little bit of Scary Movies.
Wow. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Calms me down.
Okay. But hey, you avoided the heat yesterday, it sounds like.
Exactly. There's not much we really could do outside. You know, we try to do stuff in the morning, but you just get so hot so quickly. You just got to listen to your body. And when it starts saying, you know, hey, that's enough, you got to go in, you just trust it and go in and relax for a while and try to come back in the evening. It's the best way to handle that in heat waves like this. So they are manageable. Just got to pay attention to the forecast and to, of course, your body, right? All right, here's a live look at Spaghetti Junction. Of course, you still see the flashing lights there where a couple of the lanes are still being blocked there, but it is open at least. 77 degrees in Louisville, 75 in Jeffersonville, 72 in Seymour, Indiana. We do have a heat advisory out for just about all of us until Wednesday. Now, the extreme heat warning, really on either side of us here, that is rare for that to happen here. You got to get to 110, or at least the expectation of 110 for at least 3 hours. We don't see that happening for this particular heat wave. I think we may get close. But close is still bad enough, so just be aware of that as the core of the heat builds, especially tomorrow will be the hottest of all, and then slowly easing out on a Wednesday. Now, as far as the rain chance goes, I mentioned, there are some opportunities of just a general pop-up, but I think if we watch this complex here out of Missouri and into Illinois, if it can get its act together, it could end up producing at least some boundaries that could fire up some thunderstorms in our area. That would be late today, though, so we got plenty of time to watch that. I'm going to keep the rain chance really low on an hour-by-hour setup. After 3 or 4 o'clock, we'll need to start paying attention and see what will pop on the radar, and hopefully it'll rain cooled air setup may aim toward your backyard. Hopefully so anyway. All right, that was the high today of 94. I'll be back with the rest of the heat wave outlook in just a few more minutes.
All righty, thank you, Brian. Believe it or not, JCPS students less than about 2 weeks away from returning to classrooms. They go back next week.
Isn't that crazy? Today you can check out your child's bus routes and ask questions too about those. Parents and families can check out the JCPS Bus Teller app, so you'll see plans and details for routes, including bus stop numbers, locations, and estimated pickup and drop-off times. All bus routes are covered for the first day of school. Superintendent Brian Yearwood said earlier this month the district has over 600 drivers, and they hope that number still goes up. This can all be found on the transportation website today. Just go to jcpsfirstday.com. You can find a transportation verification form there too. If you haven't filled one out, the deadline has passed, but you do need a form if your child needs transportation, but you may not be guaranteed a bus stop by the first day, which is August 7th. The district is in a freeze period for additions until August 18th. And today the bus hotline, that is 485-RIDE, opens. JCPS staff will be there answering questions from 9 until 4, and they're going to keep this line open for a while after school begins.
JCPS's new superintendent is hosting several chances for families and community members to get to know him before the school year officially starts. And one of those opportunities is today. Today is the first in a series of public forums hosted by Dr. Brian Yearwood. It'll be at Seneca High School from 5:30 to 7 tonight. It's followed by another forum on Wednesday at Fairdale High School. That will also be from 5:30 to 7. Dr. Yearwood started the job at the beginning of the month. And you can check out all of this information over on our website. You can find these stories under the Education News tab on wave3.com, and you can also search for them on our Wave News app.
Some of the weekend closures on Interstate 65 near Hospital Curve are partially wrapping up this morning, but it could still impact your commute. I-65 South has reopened, but sections near Hospital Curve are reduced to 1 lane through Wednesday. Crews are making permanent repairs to expansion joints that require frequent fixes. They also hope this will help prevent potholes. Additional lane closures will be scheduled at a later date. It's unclear how long the project will last. Parts of the water Jefferson are closing tonight as construction work takes place on Brownsboro. Crews will block off lanes and ramps to improve the interstate and US 42. Drivers will have detours for west and eastbound traffic. Those are listed right there on your screen. And the work starts tonight at 8. It goes until 6 on Tuesday morning. Parts of the closure will continue each night this week. We have a full list of all the closures on wave3.com. Happening today, a lot of people will turn out for the 55th annual World Championship Dainty Contest.
Easily one of Louisville's most unique traditions. I'm Wave News reporter Kirsten Foote joining us this morning with a preview. Good morning, Kirsten.
Good morning, Shannon and Olivia. That's right. There's so much going on this weekend, and the Dainty Contest tonight is kind of the culmination of a whole weekend of events. I'm here at Jennifer Chapel, councilwoman and Dainty Fest organizer. And so, of course, we have the Dainty, Fest where we hit the things, and I did it pretty good in our previous segment. If you missed that, I'm not going to. Pretty good.
You got it online.
Yeah, on live TV. Nice. But there's so much more too here because we have the basket of lemons. Now, tell me about the basket of lemons here.
Yeah, basket of lemons, just to encourage you not to be a sore loser, but that goes to the loser of our contest, the person who hits the Dainty the shortest distance. And last year's winner of the loser title, it was actually Mayor Greenberg. So he'll be here tonight at 5 o'clock to see if he can hit it a little further this year.
Yeah, maybe not get that. Maybe do a little bit better than that. And, you have to be 45 to do the actual competition here. So if you're not 45 like myself, you could have some other fun stuff. Yeah, or,
it's okay. She looked at me side-eyed, but it's okay. It's okay.
I was like, how far away do I have until that? Math is not mathing right now.
It's okay.
You can get some fun pickles. You can get a bologna sandwich. Tell me about these things here.
Yeah, so we're here in Hauk's Corner, which used to be Hauk's Corner Store, and that's where George Hauk ran his family business. And you can see up here they had lunch, meat, beer, ice cream, and all the likes. And so Dainty is on the last Monday because that's when the store was closed. And George would go and get some bologna, and that just kind of became the bologna sandwich is the iconic meal of Dainty.
Yeah.
And so tonight you can come and you can get some pickles, the bologna sandwich, and a bag of regular potato chips. And that's our classic Dainty meal, and we'll have it for $4 tonight.
Ooh, lovely.
So head over to the Merriweather.
Honestly, probably the better of the two, instead of feeling like a sore loser and you can't hit the little thing, just have a little bologna sandwich
Have
and
a
pickle.
little bologna, yeah. It's not 25 cents like George used to have it, but, inflation costs, and so it's still an affordable way, and we've also got some cheap beer, but also the fun is free.
Wonderful, yeah, and that's how we're going to spend our time tonight here. That's the better way here. All right, so everything is going to kick off signups for the Dainty Contest there at 4:30. It all gets underway at 5 o'clock, and you definitely don't want to miss it, the 55th annual Dainty Contest. Thanks for joining me, Jennifer.
Of course, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Oh, thank you all. Yeah, pickles and bologna. Sign me up for that.
That actually sounds good, doesn't it?
I love that. That's a perfect meal for me. Dinner tonight.
Right? If your utility bills have been looking a little high recently, you're not alone.
Stick with us. We'll tell you how you can be eligible for help on those bills in just 2 minutes.
morning, 7:10 right now. And yeah, we're starting off the week, how we ended it with that heat.
There's end in sight, though.
There is. We're going to get a nice little cool down. I mean, and here's the thing. It's cooling down to like 85, 86. And, you know, a few weeks ago, everyone would be like, wow, that's hot. Like, we're
That
so
sounds
true.
like sweater weather at this point now. I'm like, oh, yeah, break out the fall clothes.
Yeah, I'm tempted to wear my parka next week. We'll see. But I think it's going to be a nice little change of pace. It's really, and Shannon, you brought up a good point, the humidity. That's the thing we got to get rid of.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just kind of knock that down because that's what really where it counts. All right, start off on traffic. Just a quick update there on that 2nd Street Bridge. It looks like a fender bender from what I can tell, heading from Indiana over to Kentucky. So police are on the scene. So they're obviously it's going to be restricted down to just one lane of traffic trying to get by. Just a heads up though that will be a wow. I got taller. Didn't realize how much taller I got over the past 30 minutes. Maybe it's that Twix bar 8. It could have been it. Anyway, we got the cars going on by just fine. I think this will be a short-term issue and be back to normal here soon. All right, 77 Louisville, 75 as you head toward Jeffersonville, 74 in E-Town. Heat advisories, they're out. I know you're like another one. Every time you hear about it, like, are we going to be under a heat advisory forever? No, just through Wednesday, and then we'll get a break for them for a while, and that's a big plus. The extreme heat warning, by the way, is in that fuchsia color. Back toward Evansville, where they will likely get to 110 or even higher for a feels-like temperature. All right, we don't have to worry about that level. Right now, we're just looking at just a partly cloudy sky across the region. It should be a really decent day. Yesterday wasn't horrible, right? I think once you get into that wind in the afternoon, it does help on trying to stir things up. But when you're in an area where the wind can't reach you, boy, you can sweat really, really fast. All right, see the showers and storms blossoming here in eastern areas of Illinois. What is happening here? This is about to become a mini low pressure, what we call an MCV. And this little mini low is going to get its act together today and will likely produce a round of showers and storms. I got a feeling this is going to be an issue as it dives down toward Kentucky. But will it weaken? Or will it repower back up again just before it arrives into our counties and wave country? It's a good question. Data's kind of split on how that will play out, but just be weather aware this afternoon, some changing weather. If that system out of Iowa makes it, it could get a little active. There's no severe risk for us for this setup, but I think it needs to be watched. Back to the areas around Minnesota, they're expecting what we call a derecho that could develop, which is a long wind event from one part of the upper Midwest and plains to one side to the other, where you can get winds of 100 and 130 miles per hour and a thunderstorm raking over several counties. It's very rare to see these, and it's heading perhaps into a big city with Minneapolis, St. Paul. So whether we're watching that, that'll be late this afternoon for that severe risk. And then for us, as the front six down slower, there is a marginal gets closer to us. We're not outlook. I think they'll fill us all in to kind of line up at the front as it moves on by. Because obviously, you're going to go from the upper 90s to the 70s and 80s. Something's got to give, right? I mean, we don't want a severe weather outbreak, but something has to give, and that will be the day on Thursday with showers and storms. 83. Now, this is in the city of Louisville. If you live in Mount Washington, Madison, Indiana, Salem, you may only see a high for a couple of days of 78 or 79, and lows at night in the mid-50s, and then we'll try to bounce back up again as we hit toward the end there of the 10-day. So it's not all bad news. And finally, for once, we could just say that the heat's not locked in every single day. There is at least a sign of things to come, and it's on a weekend, which is a big, big plus as well, guys.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
It's now been a little over a week since a standout 17-year-old student athlete was shot and killed just steps from his Louisville home. Police say another teen is charged in his murder and is now in custody.
This as the community is coming together to support the victim's family. 17-year-old Dunya Tuhania was shot and killed July 15th. The teen being remembered as a stellar student, a soccer star, and a leader in his community. Kevin Yuyusenga with C Forward Ministries was one of the people who watched Dooney grow and thrive in the city. He started a GoFundMe to support Dooney's family as they plan his funeral.
When life is cut short this way, then it's another step back. Not knowing what the family is going through, what the community is going through, and so yeah, we are taking one step at a time.
LMPD arrested a 15-year-old boy in connection to Dooney's death. He's charged with several things, including murder, having a handgun as a minor, tampering with physical evidence, and resisting arrest. Dooney's funeral is scheduled for August 15th. We have a link to the GoFundMe with this story on wave3.com.
This week, a man will be back in court after being let out of jail on bond twice. Once for a murder charge for an alleged drunk driving incident that killed a Jefferson County teacher, and most recently on a new domestic violence charge. Adam Sanders was given a $3,000 bond on the new domestic violence charges, which he paid the next day. He was arrested July 5th in Oldham County for assault in the 4th degree. Judge Daniel Findley set the initial bond at $3 grand. It's unclear if the judge was aware Sanders was already out on bond related to a DUI crash that killed Arundita Lane last year. During his arraignment, Judge Brittany McKenna left the bond at the same amount, and the video confirms she was made aware of his murder charge.
You post that bond and are released on this case, my presumption is you're not going to be released on your other case. But if for some reason you are to remain law-abiding, make all your court appearances, you are to have no contact with the alleged victim in this case.
Sanders posted the bond and was released the next day. The Oldham County prosecutor has asked to amend the domestic violence charge to a felony after obtaining pictures of the victim's injuries. The Jefferson County prosecutor has asked for Sanders' bond in the murder case to be increased to $250,000 full cash. Sanders is expected in court tomorrow.
3 people are dead, including a 1-year-old child, after a crash in Breckenridge County. It happened just after 5 Saturday along Kentucky Route 261 outside of Webster. Kentucky State Police say Joseph Maynard was driving south on the road when his car crossed over the line and hit another car head-on. 22-year-old Hunter Lyons, a 1-year-old, and a 3rd passenger were in that other car. Maynard, Lyons, and the child all died at the scene. The 3rd passenger was flown to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police are still investigating the crash. We're learning more about the man police arrested in a SWAT standoff in Shively that kept a neighborhood blocked off for hours. William Fry faces 10 charges in this case, including attempted murder of a police officer, terroristic threatening, and unlawful imprisonment. Police say Fry shot at officers when they tried to arrest him at his home on Woodmere Avenue last Thursday. His family tells us he suffered a brain injury and his mental health has declined over the past few years. Fry pleaded not guilty in court. He has to pay a $500,000 cash bond to get out of jail, and if posted, he cannot make contact with his wife or have any guns.
Well, we expect to learn more about the condition of Muhammad Ali's brother today. Some community leaders say he's in the hospital. The pastor of King Solomon Missionary Baptist Church, Charles Elliott, is calling for prayer and support for Rahman Ali. The 82-year-old is the younger brother of Muhammad Ali. Reverend Elliott will be joined by other community leaders to give an update on his condition at 10:30 this morning. We will bring you the latest developments on Wave News. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is showing his support for workers to unionize at what will be one of the biggest vehicle battery manufacturers in the state.
The It's Better in a Union bus tour made a stop in Louisville as people employed at the Blue Oval SK battery plant work towards organizing. Earlier this year, they filed to join the United Auto Workers. Amanda East, one of the people behind the movement at Blue Oval, says they want better pay, affordable health care, and more safety measures. Along with Governor Beshear, U.S. Representative Morgan McGarvey, and State Rep Nima Kulkarni were there on Saturday, too. East said their support was inspiring.
To have the support means everything. It changes momentum. It changes the direction that the people will go. People see that and it changes everything.
The next step towards unionizing is for the NLRB to conduct an election. If the majority of workers vote to join, they can make their organization official. No date has been set for that election yet. Happening now, you could be eligible for some help on your utility bills during this massive heat wave we're experiencing. The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program will open applications for summer subsidy. That program provides households with a one-time electric benefit. It does not require a disconnect notice, a past due bill, or an eviction notice. LIHEAP will be accepting applications through September 12th. You can find out if you're eligible and how to apply over on wave3.com.
And still ahead, JCPS's new superintendent is having some meet and greets to meet members of the community.
We'll have details on when those meetings will be coming up. families get ready for the new school year, Baptist Health is reminding parents and students of an often overlooked back-to-school essential, and that's proper backpack selection and use. An overloaded or poorly packed backpack can lead to back, neck, and shoulder pain. Experts have a few tips on selecting and packing that backpack. First, fit. The backpack shouldn't be too large or too small. Next, keep it light, so your child's backpack should weigh less than 15% of their body weight. And lastly, pack smart. Put those heavy items closer to your body and even out the weight throughout the backpack. Today, a private memorial will be held for an Army cadet who died during training at Fort Knox. The base says 22-year-old Neil Adara from Ridgewood, New Jersey, died on Thursday. They say he became unresponsive while doing land navigation training. The exact cause of his death is still under investigation. Fort Knox leaders say safety is a top priority as cadet summer training continues.
Happening today, Utica Fire and Rescue will host an open house to recruit a new batch of volunteer firefighters. Starting at 7 tonight, potential volunteers can visit the station on Utica Pike in Jeffersonville. The Fire Protection District Board of Trustees President Joe Charles will serve as the department's first chief. He told our partners at the News and Tribune nearly 50 applications for volunteer firefighters have already been received. The department is looking to rebuild in the wake of the Jamie Knoll investigation. Right now, Jeffersonville Fire is providing fire protection to the Utica area until the end of the year.
Some Louisville first responders are making sure they're prepared for any situation. Anchorage Middletown Fire and EMS had specialized elevator rescue training sessions. Norton Healthcare let them use one of their buildings to carry out the exercises. The situation they're practicing for is what a battalion chief described as low frequency but high acuity.
Doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it's a very high stress event and a very critical event where somebody's life is actually in danger, and we have to do all the steps properly to make sure we can get them out safely.
The firefighters had a crash course in how an elevator works. Then they opened the shaft to simulate a rescue for somebody trapped at the bottom with an injury or confined inside the elevator itself. Important practice right there.
Certainly is. We're going to be back with another look at local news and weather.
Stick with us.
I won't say.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
Good morning, I'm Shannon Kogan. Today, JCPS parents will be able to map out their children's bus routes and ask questions too. Today, the district is launching the JCPS Bus Teller app. That's where you will see bus plans, including bus stop numbers, locations, and estimated pickup and drop-off times. New Superintendent Brian Yearwood says the district has over 600 bus drivers. JCPS is also opening its bus hotline, 485-RIDE. District staff will answer questions during the week from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The first day of school is August 7th. Here's meteorologist Brian Good. Can you believe how fast that summer break flew?
Yeah, so everyone's going to try to cram in, I'm sure, a lot going on here this week, especially when the weather gets nice this upcoming weekend. So I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of folks out and about, especially at all the area events happening. And I'm sure they'll be at Hurricane Bay too next weekend. Right now it's quiet. It doesn't open up for a couple more hours here, but I'm sure it'll be full today with temperatures in those 90s. A pair of 7s right now in Louisville, 74 at Fort Knox, 74 into Bardstown, 72 right now into LaGrange. We've got a heat advisory out until 8 o'clock tonight, so take it easy. Actual high 94, heat index near 105. But we're cool from the thunderstorm aspect of things, but as we get into later on, then we're going to get a complex here that will likely fizzle out, but may regenerate right over us late afternoon. At least that's the latest thinking. Stay tuned for more on that. Hour by hour, you see the rain chance more focus late afternoon and evening itself. Quick update on the traffic side this morning. We do have a couple of issues out there in the area roads. You got at least one stalled vehicle on the Watterson, not too far away from, say, New Popper Level Road. Another one there off of portions of 64. And we had a crash briefly here off the 2nd Street Bridge. That's been cleared.
Hey, thanks for staying with us here on Wave Sunrise Extra. I'm Olivia Russell. Good morning to everyone who is still here with us on this beautiful Monday morning. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Well, over the weekend, a community came together to show support for their friend who's facing an aggressive form of cancer. Wave News reporter Kirsten Foote shows us how they're stepping up for one of their own.
Alexis is like her own vibe. She's probably like one of the most positive people that you will meet.
I feel like she's just a ray of sunshine.
She's a ride or die and will stick by you like no matter what.
Alexis Allen is 28 years old and a friend to many. She's a facialist at Lumi Skin Bar on Lexington Road. In November of 2024, she received a life-altering diagnosis, stage 4 colon cancer.
I think it was just like a shock to all of us, honestly, because we are really close at Lumi and we're more of like a family rather than just like employees. So we did take it really, really hard.
That's where her coworkers turned friends stepped in. On Sunday, a local market was held at Millwood Arts Center. 100% of the proceeds raised are going to Alexis's healing journey. Her story brought out dozens of people to lend a helping hand.
It just seemed like everyone, friends, family, businesses, people who don't even know her have like came out to support her. And I think as a community that says a lot about the effect she has on people. And, you know, I feel like her energy just easily spreads to other people.
Allen has been showing up to Lumi and working while completing treatment until a couple of weeks ago. But as she continues her fight, she isn't alone in the process.
We just want to show up for her and we want to show her support. Yeah, it's hard for not only her, it is hard for everyone. But as long as we just show up for her and be by her side and push her along the way, like that's what we can do.
Reporting in Louisville, Kirsten Foote, Wave News.
And if you'd like to donate to Allen, we have a link to do that over on our website, wave3.com. Well, air quality alerts are common in the summer and they may be easy to overlook, but health leaders say there's something that parents should keep a very close eye on. Dr. Fariba Rizai says parents should pay attention to the air quality index. It uses a color-coded system where green means the air is good, all the way up to maroon, which signals hazardous conditions. When it reaches orange or higher, kids may start experiencing symptoms like eye irritation, coughing, or shortness of breath. Dr. Rizai says children are particularly sensitive to air pollution for a few reasons.
First, because their organs are developing. And the second is that because they breathe faster, so they can expose to the fine particles more than adults. And then could you imagine the kids who have some underlying disease like asthma or heart disease, they are even more sensitive.
Dr. Rizai says it's also important for adults to limit their time outdoors when the air quality is poor, especially those older adults and people with chronic health conditions. Some Louisville first responders are making sure they're prepared for any situation. Over the weekend, Anchorage Middletown Fire and EMS had specialized elevator rescue training sessions. Norton Healthcare let them use one of their buildings to carry out the exercises. The situation they're practicing is for what a battalion chief described as low frequency, high acuity. Here's what it means.
It doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it's a very high stress event and a very critical event where somebody's life is actually in danger. And we have to do all the steps properly to make sure we can get them out safely.
The firefighters had a crash course in how an elevator works, then opened the shaft to simulate a rescue for somebody trapped at the bottom with an injury or confined in the elevator itself. A living piece of Bullitt County history has turned 100 years old. 1 century ago, George Bradbury was born. To celebrate his birthday, he had a big party at the Hillview Government Center. In 1943, he enlisted in the Marines right out of high school to serve in World War II. After basic training, he deployed to the Pacific Theater as a radio operator and worked with the Navajo Code Talkers. Near the end of the conflict, he was in northern China, returning Japanese soldiers and civilians to their homes and offering them protection in the Civil War. He talks about what's kept him feeling young throughout the decades.
Hard work, cigar now and then, go fishing, be good to my neighbors.
Great advice there. And after his service in the military, Bradbury returned home to Bullitt County. He found a job, got married, and raised a family. Over the years, he ran a service station and a skating rink, and he's also served on the county's school board. Very big happy birthday to him. Well, here's something cool. A new species of shark, millions of years old, has been discovered in Kentucky. The ancient shark, and I'm hopefully not going to butcher this name, it's called Macadens olsonoi, had a distinctive curved row of teeth. Experts say they were designed to crush small sea creatures. The fossils were found at Mammoth Cave National Park in a formation estimated to be 355 million years old. The National Park Service says the formation traces back to when Mammoth Cave was submerged in a warm, shallow sea. You never really know what you're gonna find there, I guess. That's kind of creepy though, if you ask me. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back with Louisville Parks and Recreation. They are talking about so many things that they've done over the summer. Stick with us. And thank you so much for staying with us here on Wave Sunrise Extra. Joined by a guest right now, we have Katie Cook with Louisville Parks and Rec. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Okay, so many things to celebrate, so many things to talk about with Parks and Rec. So first, we want to highlight that, this is National Parks and Recreation Month. So an entire month of things happening.
Yes. We're towards the end of the month, but that doesn't mean you can't celebrate by visiting one of our awesome parks or other amenities. And then to wrap up the month this Wednesday, we're having our own celebration at Central Park called Art in the Park, which I think we'll talk about, yeah.
Okay, Art in the Park. Tell me a little bit about what that is, what's included in it.
So this is an annual event that we have, and we partner with Kentucky Shakespeare. They're going to have a showing of Twelfth Night on Wednesday at Central Park starting at 8 p.m. But before that, under the pergola at Central Park, we're going to have lots of arts and crafts activities for kids, things like making flower crowns, making potions. We try to get really creative and make some hands-on stuff for families and kids to do to, again, just be creative and be artistic. So we invite everyone to come out to that. It's a free event, again, a couple hours before the showing of Kentucky Shakespeare's play. So then we hope everyone will stay for that as well. And then not to mention we'll have some community booths there to learn more about the people that are working hard for your park system. And then Kentucky Shakespeare always has their food trucks and drinks at Will's Tavern and Kids Globe and things like that.
I think that video we're showing right there is Shakespeare performances. Everyone getting ready for that. What's the reaction usually like to that? Because I mean, Shakespeare, such a classic. I feel like so many of us learned about in high school, maybe even younger if your school is like really awesome. I was mostly in high school though, learning about it.
Yes, I was in high school learning about it too. And it's so, the vibe there is so awesome. People get really into it. We usually see a great turnout, which is a testament to Kentucky Shakespeare as well, because they have such an awesome following of people who appreciate Shakespeare's work. But that's why we try to make our crafts a little bit whimsical to tie into the Shakespeare vibe. That's why we have like the flower crowns, and you know, in the Shakespeare plays there are some different potions and cocktails and things that people take. Last year we had Romeo and Juliet, so that was a little bit more fitting for that. But yeah, the vibes there are just so awesome, and you can't go wrong when it's in one of our parks, too.
Absolutely, yeah, and lots of investments that have been made already this year. What are some of the key things that Parks and Rec has invested in? Because, I mean, big projects that have happened.
Yes, so, I mean, it has been such a huge year for Louisville Parks and Recreation. We've had about $15 million in investments into our parks, our community centers. A lot of people don't realize how much stuff Louisville Parks and Recreation has. I mean, the Iroquois Amphitheater is ours, Mary T. Maher Aquatic Center is ours, but, and first of all, I can't emphasize enough that we couldn't do this on our own. I mean, this is a lot of investments allocated by Mayor Craig Greenberg, partnering with our council people, and so we're so appreciative of that. But I think one of the biggest highlights from the year was the opening of the Algonquin Water Park in the Algonquin neighborhood.
Yeah, $7.2 million. And it's already been open for a little while now, too. Tell me about some of the highlights, what's included in that park, and how the community has reacted to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this community has gone without a public pool for a little bit now, so that just made it all the more exciting to be able to open this. And I think at first we called it Algonquin Pool, and then we quickly realized this is way more than just a pool. So now we're calling it Algonquin Water Park because, I mean, we have our big water slides, a family slide. I love the zero depth entry of the pool because it makes it more ADA accessible and accessible for everyone. But yeah, we also have a climbing wall, and so many great amenities for everyone. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the awesome programming that's taking place at Algonquin Pool.
Yeah, that looks like a swim lesson right there too, getting the young ones learning how to swim.
Yes, so we have swim lessons there. We also have things like water aerobics for seniors, just everything in between, you know.
Yeah. And how's the community reacted to it so far? I mean, they've got to be hyped, really enjoying it, especially with this heat wave right now.
Oh, yeah. It is definitely busy every single day that it's open, every single day that the weather is great. We've just seen an outpouring of love and support for this pool, which is great to see because, I mean, that's what we love to do, and that's what we're here to do as Louisville Parks and Recreation, is to provide awesome amenities like this for people to use.
And let's talk about Louisville's newest park. That's Nick Rodman Legacy Park, named after LMPD officer Nick Rodman, who died in 2017. Tell us about what this park features and what it's like to be able to honor him through this park.
Yes, this park is very special and very unique to us. You know, we finally got to open a park in this area that was without a park for a while. And, you know, it's kind of like Algonquin, you know, we're really trying to pinpoint what areas of Louisville need things like this. And we're really doing something about it by putting these awesome parks and things for people to do there. But Nick Rodman Legacy Park, as you can see, has that splash pad that's state of the art and awesome. It also has a really big playground and swings and climbing structures. Yeah, the ribbon cutting that day was so awesome because we got to celebrate with many members in the community, including Nick Rodman's family and some other people from law enforcement that could really speak on his legacy and why it is so important to remember him through this park.
And we see those pictures there with his family too. This has got to be a great honor for his family to be able to see a park open up and see kids enjoy it too.
Yeah. Yes. It was something special to see. We had a lot of kids come out that day to celebrate the grand opening, and I know they're still using the park every single day.
Absolutely. Okay, so one last time, because you do have the Art in the Park event that's happening this week, to quickly remind us, quick rundown of where and when that's happening and how people can join in on the fun.
Yeah, so it's this Wednesday at Central Park starting at 6 p.m. It's free, so all you have to do is bring yourself, bring your family, bring your friends, show up and have some fun with us.
All right. Well, I think you said my favorite word right there, free. For any event, free is awesome,
Yes,
too.
yes.
You'll have so many great opportunities for families to have free fun. That's huge.
Yeah, and you know, the Kentucky Shakespeare play is free as well. So again, and just come out and have a good time with us in the park.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and happy, Parks and Recreation Month? It's
thank
wrapping
you.
up, but a lot to celebrate for sure.
Yes, and you can always celebrate our parks all year. Why not?
I agree. Well, Katie Cook, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us here on Wave Extra. We just heard from Katie Cook with Louisville Parks and Recreations. Maybe get outside, enjoy the warm weather, and practice your skills out there on any of the courts and fields that they have set up. But hey, maybe if you're more of a spectator and would rather just sit back and watch, there's plenty of soccer action to talk about in the state of Kentucky this week. So first, let's start out with this new rivalry that continued to grow with drama taking place in Lexington, along with two international teams with two different leagues facing off in Louisville. So let's start for Lou City here. They were looking to sweep their in-season rivals as they already got a win under their belt against Lexington in May. However, Saturday, looking like a game of revenge. Lexington took the lead in the 86th minute, so close to winning this one. But yeah, that guy right there, defender Jake Morris, stepped up late in the game. He scored the equalizer in the 91st minute and the winning goal in the 97th, ending the game with a 2-1 win and claiming the Commonwealth Cup for the boys in purple.
Once they scored a goal, it was like, all right, we got to do this. So put a little fire under me, and I think just willingness to be in the box and score, like we talk about here, for our wingbacks. The result of it, was being able to get 2 goals.
A clutch performance there by Morris. Huge game for them. Lou City will pick back up with league play next Saturday, August 9th, first place Charleston comes to Lynn Family Stadium. But let's also talk about those international games, because Eintracht Frankfurt now back in Louisville for the second summer in a row. This weekend they had the chance to get acclimated to the heat and field conditions at Lynn Family Stadium as they faced the Premier League's Aston Villa on Saturday night. The two teams exchanged goals all night, leading to a 2-2 draw, but they had a huge crowd out there. Awesome to see Lynn Family Stadium so packed. Well, after playing in that friendly Saturday night, Germany's Frankfurt will stay in town to get ready for a matchup against Lou City. It'll be a rematch for the two teams since they played last summer, resulting in a 4-2 defeat for the boys in purple. This game is set for tomorrow night at 7:30. Frankfurt finished in third place in the top league in Germany last season, qualifying them for the Champions League. Lou City President James O'Connor was asked about the opportunity to host Frankfurt for a second time. He said in part, quote, "We're honored to have Frankfurt return to Louisville this summer. I'd encourage Louisville to show up big for our game on July 29th to ensure we can keep bringing some of the world's best clubs to Lynn Family Stadium. I have a feeling they're going to draw a pretty big crowd out there. They usually do, and plus a lot of attention there on the international matchup." Well, for Bats fans in attendance this week, they may have noticed a new name in the lineup, Sal Stewart. He made his Bats debut on the 18th. According to MLB.com, the Miami native ranks 39th overall among minor league prospects. And Wave Sports reporter Dusty Baker had the chance to sit down with the 21-year-old to discuss his growth and development to get to this point.
Sal, you just got called up here to AAA. First of all, can you just talk about how special it was to receive that call, and what was it like to kind of be told, hey, you're going to this next level just shy of the MLB?
Oh, I mean, it was awesome. Like, all my hard work paying off. I put a lot of time into my craft, and it was just a nice stepping stone. Obviously, I want to get to the big leagues, and this is just another stop, so just want to keep getting better every day.
A lot of people will see your name on these top 100 prospect lists. I guess for you growing in the game, you've been on those lists for a while. Has there been pressure involved in that because of the attention that you've gotten as you made your way through the minor leagues?
Nah, no pressure. I don't really look too much into that. All of that is just numbers. At the end of the day, everyone has to put their cleats on and go out and play, so I don't really look too much into it. It's obviously an honor, and it's my hard work paying off. The teammates are great. Coaches, everyone's been great. Haven't gotten to the start that I would like, but it happens. It's part of the game. I'm not going to hit 300 every week, so just continuing to get better. I've spoken to Tito. I've spoken to PK. They just want me to continue playing the game hard, continuing to get better on defense, continuing my throwing program. Honestly, they just want me to work on all the little things.
But what are you doing when you're not here at the facilities practicing?
Oh, I love to play video games with my best friends, yeah. We play every day, Munir, Shad, and Reza. Those are my best friends back home, and yeah, we just play a lot of video games.
What's your go-to game?
I love college football. It just came out, but my friends love MLB The Show, so I try to stay away from baseball off the field, but when they talk crazy, then I got to play, and then we just yell at each other, and it's the best.
So Sal Stewart, remember the name because, again, he is the 39th overall prospect right now, so he has a great future ahead of him. Can't wait to see what he can accomplish out there on the field. So welcome to Louisville. So excited to have him playing for the Bats this season. Well, that's all the time we have for Wave Sunrise Extra. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.